So yeah, guys, as you could tell by the thumbnail, Sarah Fillier, she made quite the splash today. She got an endorsement offer, and then she actually signed it. It was with Gatorade Canada. Yes, indeed. The terms were not disclosed, of course, why would they be? But this is going to be quite amazing for her, considering how Gatorade is normally an endorsement reserved for pros, like experienced pros. Another thing that was reported was her representatives are currently in the middle of negotiating her contract, and like I said in my first video, it's going to be interesting to see who sinks first, since we all know she wants a 2-year contract. So who sinks first, the team or the representatives? And our third and last thing was she was in an interview, actually, quite a lengthy one too. I'm gonna go over it. Let's see here. Who exactly was it with? It was with MG. They say congrats on the deal, of course, and is this her first endorsement deal? And she basically said, yeah, it's her first one with a beverage company, and she is excited. Gatorade was an iconic brand, and it's something she grew up watching their commercials, seeing the best athletes represent the brand, and yeah, she's clearly excited. Then MG asked, has she treated herself at all since the draft? And she said that pretty much when she rewatched the draft herself, that she said that the draft itself was her big spend. I'm assuming that she was talking about her dress, but that's that. Her next question was, who is the player that she grew up, who is the player that she's most looking forward to playing against? And her answer was Philip-Poulin, her teammate at the Olympics and World Championship. She grew up idolizing her and got a chance to win gold medals with her, World Championship gold. So to play against her, it's kind of feel like I've made it playing in a league against the best player in the world. Her next question was a coach or player who has had the most impact on the way she's played the game, and her answer was probably Randy Cochran, the coach with the Oakville Junior Hornets, and she thinks that she was the first coach who coached players and found out what they needed individually as people, which honestly is a really good thing to have as a coach. She thinks going through high school and trying to find a college to go to and getting involved with the national program, it was very overwhelming, and the coach, she got her through that. MG then asked if this was a really interesting question. If the PWHL did not exist, where would she be playing hockey this year? And if I'm being honest, she did not really give a straight answer. Her exact answer was, I don't think there's a necessary plan, I think the timing of my college career was perfect because those 2 years I had off, I was training with the national team and training to go to the Olympics, so I kind of knew things were happening under wraps. I knew there was a plan in place. Luckily, I was going back to school for 2 more years after those Olympics, so I always knew something would be there for me. But yeah, I think for girls growing up now, having a pro league to be that dream, but also the option to play in Europe is great. There was so many opportunities now the more we get girls playing hockey after college is awesome. So yeah, she did mention Europe, but like she didn't give a straight answer as to where she would play, you know. But obviously she would get accepted anywhere in Europe. I mean, this woman is literally a franchise player. MG then asked, can you describe your first interaction with Marie Philip-Poulin? And Sarah Fillier said that it was probably when she was 17 in her freshman year of college. She remembers being so nervous, her mother texting her whenever. Or she said that my mom always texts me whatever event I'm at, who is your roommate, who are you playing with, so I always text her, MPP is my roommate. And yeah, that's a little bit of a kick, you know. MG then asked her, who are the 3 people in hockey history you would have 10 minutes with just to pick their brain? And her answers were Jana Hefford, Connor McDavid, and Jillian Epps, which honestly, I would love to pick Jana Hefford's brain, you know, she's an amazing player herself. McDavid and Epps, you know, they're great, but you can clearly tell by the way they play what answers they would give, you know. The next question was, what is some advice you would give your 12-year-old self? And Sarah Fillier answered, probably just to live more in the moment, playing hockey with your best friends, going to tournaments, staying in hotels were some of the best memories I have growing up and playing hockey. The next question she got asked was, you are heading into Game 7 of the championship final. Who do you call to get into a proper frame of mind? And Fillier answered with probably, I mean, anyone, no one really wasn't gonna guess this. It was her twin sister. They grew up playing hockey together. They went to Princeton together. She stopped playing hockey after college, but she loves the game still. MG then asked her, what is your most time-consuming superstition? And I really did not get why they had to ask this question, but you know what? I thought her answer was a little funny. She said that, I feel I'm a bit of a superstitious person, so I always take a really long nap before a pre-game meal. It's like 2 hours if I can fit 2 hours in, but at the rink, it would taping my stick before every game. MG then asked her, you have one cheat day in your season, what are you eating? Sarah Fillier, I probably agree with half of this. Breakfast, probably. French toast with whipped cream, strawberries, the whole thing. For lunch, just a burger and some sweet potato fries. And for dinner, all you can eat sushi. Now, I'd probably agree with the French toast sticks and the burger, but yeah, you know. MG then asked her, who is the most famous Georgetown? Who was the most famous hockey player from Georgetown when you were growing up? Fillier's answer was, we have a big ref from Georgetown, Brian Lewis. Yes, he was a big one. He was a big name in hockey, but maybe the Dickinsons, Jason and Josh. Jason plays for the Chicago Blackhawks now, and he was a quite bit older than me, but we went to the same high school too. Oh, that's a little interesting. MG then asked her, what does a successful first year in the PWHL look like for you? This was a very good question. Sarah Fillier answered, I think just gaining experience and being a sponge, learning as we go. It's a completely uncharted territory for me, playing in a pro league and not having to deal with my stress of an Ivy League school. So that's what I'm excited about. I think being prepared that it's not going to be an easy transition, so being okay with struggling a little bit, but hopefully adapt right away and make an impact offensively every game. MG then asked, what is your favorite hockey trip ever? Sarah Fillier answered, probably her Denmark Worlds in August a few years ago. It was the first world championship that she had. She went a week in Copenhagen and the weather was beautiful. It felt more like a vacation a little bit than a hockey trip, and then went on to win gold, which was pretty cool. MG then asked, what was the best body check you ever delivered? Where were you and who did you lay out? Ooh, this is a good one. Sarah Fillier, the first thing that comes to mind is my first game in college. We traveled to Wisconsin to take on the Badgers, and they were ranked number 1 and won the national championship the year prior. Obviously, my first game as a college athlete, I was terrified. And I remember coming across the blue line and trying to stay on side and just ran into Annie Penkowski, who was a notable name on the U.S. national team, and kind of laid her out a little bit, so I found my footing pretty quick. MG then asked, bucket list for sporting events. And Sarah Fillier gave a pretty straight answer. She just said the Masters. MG then asked, you get to choose 2 women in any hockey history to play with on a line. Who are you choosing? She said Marie Philip-Poulin, of course, and then maybe I liked this one, Haley Wickenheiser. Damn, got cotton mouth a little bit. And then we go on to the final question. MG then asked, which female athlete outside of hockey do you admire most? And she said maybe Kia Nurse. She's done so much for women's basketball, and being a Canadian female athlete honestly is inspiring for me to see what she has done in her career and the way she has used her voice and her platform. And anyways, that's the interview and pretty much all the news for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and you guys take it easy. Maybe I'll see you in the next one. I hope you enjoyed.